What's going on, traders? Todd here. Welcome to the free video update. It's now Wednesday the 21st, and I want to do two things in this video quickly. One, I want to kind of talk about the big sell-off that happened in the market yesterday and show you, I think, a key takeaway. And then number two, there's a good opportunity to maybe share a little trading tidbit with you. Before we jump into the market, let's talk about that tidbit. Like, can you think of a time where you put a trade or an investment or position on, you went through your process, you found a good technical setup, maybe you also include fundamentals, and the stock or position or investment just doesn't go anywhere? It can be really frustrating because at the time it seemed like a great setup and you're going to crush it and make a lot of money. Well, what I've found over the years is, particularly stock traders out there, is you want to be sure that the stock you're trading is a member of an industry or sector that's in play and that is rotating in, because it's amazing right now, post pandemic, with the spike in inflation and corresponding move in rates, how much shift back and forth there is in sector rotations. You really got to understand what's happening, and that could shed some light as to why a stock that you put on isn't moving, or maybe is moving really, really well and you crush it. So let's table that for one sec. Let's talk about this concept, and then I'll kind of pull it together for you. So if we look at, if we think about the sell-off that we saw yesterday, where we had a pretty, you had NASDAQ now at new all-time highs and the market sold off. What's interesting, if you look closely behind the scenes, is the growth trade held up yesterday quite well. It was more the value sectors that were lower. So we're looking at a report that we build every week for members of Trading Analysis, and this is the relative rotation graphs as put out by Optima and embedded by my friend Julius de Kempenaar. So we're looking at 3 time frames. It's a little weird, but it's monthly in the top left, the big weekly down here, and daily here. Okay, so obviously monthly is the slowest, biggest time frame, and weekly is the middle, daily is the shortest. All right, so yesterday what we saw was the growth right here. And now it's a little small, but there's about 3 to 4 days of data is right here. Just in the last few days, we're getting a little hook higher in growth and a hook lower in value. That is an indication that growth is rotating in. Now, got to keep in mind that this is in the context, this daily chart, this is just 4 or 5 days of trading, in the context of the weekly, which the growth is already way far over to the right, which means for the last 6 to 8 weeks, growth has clearly been stronger than value. And if you go up to the higher, the monthly, we've had, monthly growth leading for all year, and that's one of the reasons that I was able to find the lows in the market and press our positions on the upside, favoring our bullish, scenarios, because the growth trade is clearly in control as value is rotating out. So we know growth trade's in control in 23. We know over the last 6 to 8 weeks, growth on the weekly has been moving up, trying to hook to the right, which is only going to further the case for the monthly up here. And then yesterday, while the market was getting crushed, post NASDAQ making a new all-time high, you had a little bit of a hook here in the daily. Interesting, okay? So pulling that all together, what does that mean? Well, here's the sector rotation, same idea. Monthly, weekly, daily. Now, over the last couple of days, as I just mentioned, look, XLK, tech, moving up. XLC, moving up. And it's hard to see, but XLY really didn't give anything up over the last week. Consumer Discretionary has been strong. You can barely see it in there. It's kind of mixed in with the financials, XLF there, okay? So there's daily. Here's weekly. XLK, ripping. Tech is ripping. Comms has been kind of rotating out, but that's starting to reverse. And XLY, which I'm really interested in, is starting to do the hook higher. Okay, so these are the sectors, as an aside, that we're interested in right now: real estate, materials, financials, tech, comms, and consumer discretionary. Okay, now what would really bring this growth rotation home in 24 would be if XLY on the monthly joined XLC, XLK, tech and comms. This is the missing link to a full rotation in a monthly leading, which is very significant, right? So we are just shy of crossing the west-east divide with XLY. If we can get another month or two and move into leading, that'd be significant. And of course, it's going to start with this weekly moving up in momentum, and then let's shift over. Let me think. I'm looking at the camera. I guess it would be, I can't think of it backwards here, whatever. We want it to shift up in towards, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, on your clock, and that would help this. And then, as I said, over the last couple of days, Consumer Discretionary didn't give up anything at all, okay? So what does that mean? Well, okay, Consumer Discretionary has been strong. We mentioned that. And real estate, as a moderate aside, but also probably helpful for you, is also triggering two of our scans that we look for. We have a quant-based kind of rules approach to finding, the early turns in rotation. I cleverly called it early turn scan. I got to come up with a better term. But real estate and Consumer Discretionary just did a nice rotation in. We talked about XLY. XLRE is coming from, down in the basement, but look at the weekly. Big move up. Real estate's coming back. Okay. So let's dive in. And this is another thing, talking about, the amazing correlation with interest rates and XLY, topic for another time. Let's talk about Consumer Discretionary. Okay, we don't think it's enough to just leave it there and say, oh, buy any Consumer Discretionary stock. No, you need to look at, Consumer Discretionary is huge. There's tons of industries and some industries inside of it. And also, we want to look at, do you want to look at small, medium, or large cap? Well, over here in the monthly, on the red, we're looking at your cap-weighted XLY. So it's been a really nice move in. As I mentioned, we're not quite out of monthly improving. We want to get over into monthly leading. The smaller cap guys, PowerShares, S&P, small cap Consumer Discretionary is clearly lagging XLY, and then equal weight is also lagging XLY. However, on the weekly, over the last 5 weeks or so, look at the ripping move that equal weight Consumer Discretionary and small cap Consumer Discretionary have made, while XLY, your cap weighted, it's closer to the XY axis, which means there's not as much volatility. These guys are higher up on the vertical scale, which means more momentum. So there's been a big rotation in sub mega cap Consumer Discretionary stocks. And I've been watching this for a while, and I'm excited to share it with you. So, okay, where do we go from there? Well, can you see how we're finding a sector that is rotating in, is trying to play a little bit of catch up to its two partners in the growth trade, and now we're zeroing in on the proper market capitalization to look at. And there's one industry we want to look at, broadline retail within Consumer Discretionary. Okay, so here's what we're doing. On the monthly, there's your XLY. We've looked at that 3 charts in a row. What's already in monthly leading? Broadline retail. Over here on weekly, you've seen the XLY trying to move up there. What's moving up, but already now in monthly or weekly leading? Broadline retail industry within XLY. There's 2 stocks. There's actually 3 stocks I want to talk to you about: Amazon, Macy's, and I'll give you a little surprise stock at the end here, one of which that we hold. Just to set the tone here on the technicals, here's XLY. Really nice breakout here from the August of 22 highs, failure in July of 23. Third failure on September 23. When a market tries a level 3 times and goes after it for the 4th time, it usually gets it and it usually breaks out. So I love the breakout here, and we've been talking about where we are in the wave counts on the indexes. Check the prior video. We remain bullish, and the fact that XLY playing catch up to tech and comms just broke this. I guess you'd call it a triple top, is significant, and I think XLY wants to continue higher. Now, remember the idea that we talked about with market capitalization within Consumer Discretionary. Amazon's been a big reason for this. From an Elliott wave point of view, however, it's one of the cleaner 5-wave moves from the late 22, early 23 move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, we have some pretty good resistance coming in possibly pending a 5-wave move into the 170 mark in XLY. If that happens, we may have a wave 2 correction. So, if you look at consumer discretionary, you're like, oh, I want to get involved in Amazon because consumer discretionary is breaking out. Well, maybe that's not where you want to be, because we're seeing better movement in the equal weight consumer discretionary and the small cap consumer discretionary, because that's the rotation that we're seeing right now. So Macy's is one. Really good rotation. I didn't show you that one. I just want to, in the interest of time. So Macy's is ripping. I mean, really nice 5 up. WXY, complex on the downside. We just broke downtrend resistance. I mean, the stock's gone from 11 to 20. We are preparing some possible entries here on Macy's with our customers, and if we get in a smaller time frame here, we would see support and potentially move up towards 25. Now, a stock that we do hold is basically a South American. It was a Argentine base, and now it's in Uruguay, if I pronounce that right, Mercado Libre. So it's kind of like an eBay / Amazon. They're like a online auction, e-commerce, payments. It's like a South American Amazon company that is showing much better rotation. And MELI is one that we currently hold, and you're looking at our positions right here. So we're in a little bit of a pullback here. Stop losses clearly defined, and we're looking for a continuation in the upside. All right. So guys, hope that helps. Again, if you get in a stock, good setup, and it doesn't work, maybe it's because, like I said, you're fighting rotation that's happening outside of your single chart analysis. So hopefully that helps, guys. Have a great rest of the day, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Hi, it's Todd from tradinganalysis.com. Thanks so much for watching. Listen, my team and I have so much to share with you in terms of our technical analysis, our fundamental analysis, portfolio management tactics, trading in and out, maybe options, sector rotation. Let us know what's most interesting to you. Maybe drop that in the comments section, and we'll do our best to work it in. Also, consider clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we put out new videos. And finally, you can check us out at tradinganalysis.com if you'd like to see us manage our real portfolios in real time. Thanks again for watching.